One cool thing about the Tacoma is it actually has an AC outlet in the bed. Charge on the go. Very cool. Alright, Duff here. We're cruising in the Tacoma, heading to our next destination, which is Marco Island. One time, Cindy and I went to Marco Island with the Monster and the M Super to ride the Indian Hill area of Marco Island. There's various stories you'll hear about it, but basically the most popular story about the hills of Marco Island are they are artificial hills that were created by the Indians hundreds of years ago, and supposedly they are constructed mostly of shells. They just piled up shells. I'm not really sure what the reason was for them to create the hills, but there are some legitimate hills in Florida, in my area, so you'll get to see them shortly. Okay, we are now in Marco Island, Florida. Just checked the starting battery level on the Z10 and we're at 78%. I had it charging for, I don't know, 90 minutes at home. So we'll see where that gets us. Heading towards the hills. I do have the selfie stick in hand for some different angles. So this will be some hardcore hot weather ride testing. It's now in the low 90s. When the sun's out, it feels like you're in a broiler, more or less. Very humid. So this will be the hot weather testing segment for the Z10. Here's my first hill. A lot of turtles in this area, and there's a rather large one. Hi, buddy. What you doing? What you doing? It's okay. It's okay. You just sunning yourself? You're big. Wow. Good boy. So I don't know this area that well back here, so I'm just going to be kind of riding around looking for hills. I will run into them. Non-hilly section. Like I said, I don't know this area very well. To human selfie stick mode. Yeah, that turtle, well, I called it a turtle back there, is actually technically a gopher tortoise. again, something this area is famous for. Here's a little roundabout with a decent angle on it. I remember this from my last time here. Cindy was scared to go down this hill. It does feel pretty steep. As you can see, it's a pretty steep rise, and it felt fine. No like huge fade or anything. It just kept powering me through. And same thing with braking down the hill. Doesn't feel fine, or it doesn't feel bad. I feel under control. I'm still searching for Indian Hill because that is the biggest hill in Marco. So. That is my target. You can feel that assisted braking kicking in. It's not a great feeling when you're going downhill, I have to be honest with you. Yeah. A lot of houses in Marco Island are like this, just beautiful and huge. Okay, so we seem to be back to the flat area, so let's go find some more hills. Let's try Watson Road, see where this goes. If anything says court or circle or drive, that usually means it doesn't lead anywhere. So I'm trying to find my way to Indian Hill. That was a little scary. Oof. There was a hump around the sewer drain, and it was pronounced, and I wasn't quite ready for it, and I got that jolt that other people have talked about. Very jolting. See, hills do exist in Florida. Pretty steep one. Damn it, just hit another sewer drain. Oh, there's Indian Hill. Okay. All right, so let's set this up. Hitting sewer drain covers on the Z10, not a recommended activity. Kind of a long and gradual incline. Okay, right there it intersects with Indian Hill, and there's another go for Tortoise. Be careful, buddy, be careful. We're going to try this several times in several different ways. Right, let's go down here. All right, so I want to get a starting temperature here. See what we're at right now. Okay, wheel is showing 118 degrees. Not bad at all. And down to 63% battery. So we are heading up this hill several times. All right, when I did this with Cindy, it was we had the M Super and the Monster, and it felt like I had to really be on my toes at the top of it. It is steep on the other side, definitely steep. Braking me fine, didn't notice any fade. Powering over it. So without giving it a break, I'm going to turn around and go right back up. This is steep. no matter what part of the country you're from, that is a steep incline right there. So now we're going down the other side. We're going to check temp again, see how much of a spike we got. All right, went up. It was just 131, so it went up probably 12 degrees, going up and up across and back that steep hill. Still not bad. Test this one more way. Ooh. Starting right in the middle of the hill. Definitely not an easy situation. Hopefully that gave you a pretty good sense of the angle of this hill. It is steep. Just checking the bot. Okay, temperature has gone up some more after continuous back and forth runs. It's 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Still not awful considering. I mean, that was a lot of abuse. I was giving it like no run up, no momentum whatsoever, and just asking it to power my 190 pounds over that hill repeatedly. And it felt strong. It felt really strong. All right, so that's the steepest hill that Marco has to throw at it, but there's one more hill that I'd like to try. And normally I would hang around here more and ride more, but I want to make sure I have enough juice left to give my last obstacle a good shot. Hi, Turtle. Oh, Tortoise, sorry. And based on how that felt, I mean, the Z10 felt stronger than either my M Super V3 or my Monster doing those hills. Seriously, it really did. How well that'll show up on the GoPro, but that's an interesting architectural design. Interesting. Okay, I think I'm going the correct general direction. Like I said, my Marco Island navigation skills are poor at best. I'm trying to intersect with Barfield. See a lot of houses down here with roof damage still. I would think most people in Marco Island would have gotten their roofs fixed by now, but evidently not. All right, made it back to Barfield. Sweet. So I'm going to make a short drive to my final destination here on this segment of the test, and hopefully it works out as I hope. Okay, on the ride back to the truck, temperature has cooled down to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, so yeah, we'll handle that stress really, really well. Keep in mind all those numbers are with very high ambient temperature outside, so yeah, definitely gets an A for me for how it performed on those hills. Okay, right there is my last challenge. It is the Jolly Bridge, which is the entrance into Marco Island. One slightly negative thing that I've noticed with this is this power button. I think it seems a little ass backwards that it takes just a momentary press to turn it on, as opposed to a long press. Because a couple times I've accidentally turned it off or turned it on just by touching it. Normally you need a longer press to turn it on, so I'm sure that's something they could fix in firmware. But yeah, as of now, it's a little bit opposite of how it should be. Rather bumpy driveway part to get through first, and onto the bridge. Shoulders filled with all kinds of little pieces of debris, so I'm kind of just focusing on not hitting anything too big. Just had someone from Walker Marine fly by me, not giving me the 3 feet of space that they're legally obligated to give someone in the bike lane. And yeah, Walker Marine, whoever's driving that delivery truck, you suck. Again, doing this downhill with the brake assist, I don't know, I don't know, I don't think I like it. I think I can just brake normally. Alright, that incline felt like nothing compared to Indian Hill. That was a piece of cake for the Z10. It didn't even break a sweat. Alright, so I think if I snake around here, I can go around to the other side of the bridge, which is actually slightly more high and I guess a little bit more steep. Let's see if we can get there. Just use the trolley handle to get by this little tight section. Cobblestones. A new experience in the Z10. Alright, so I can get to the other side this way. That's cool. Some very deep ruts here. Very deep. Alright. This side is newer. This was constructed, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and has a much more pronounced and better bike lane. Incline definitely feels higher on this side, definitely, but still totally manageable. This is what you see as you crest the Jolly Bridge, and Marco Island lays before you. Very cool. And I see a small pathway there that I might be able to use to get under the bridge from this side. Let's try that. Give us some more off-road testing. Do a preview of what it's like to ride it at the swamp, maybe. It's really big stones. Big stones. That's not comfortable. This isn't my wheel. I don't want to risk getting stuck in a rut and dumping this thing. If it was my wheel, sure, but it's not mine. I mean, look at these things. These aren't cobblestones, these are cobble boulders, more or less. I wonder if the Z10 can handle that incline. We'll let someone else test that. Okay. We're back. Yeah, that wasn't a big deal at all. I mean, the wheel didn't feel stressed at all during that. I didn't even bother to check the temperature. Because it is a long hill and a big hill, but its angle is not that steep, so very cool. So that concludes the Marco Island portion of my Z10 testing. Where am I going next? Tune in and find out.